episode of Bringing Back to Smile here with myself, Dave Sheahan, on Lure Media, and I'm a high performance consultant and dedicated now for over 25 years to educating, motivating. I truly do hope inspiring people just like you to be the best you that you can be and to live the best life that you can have. And Bringing Back to Smile is all about bringing back the smile to you, bringing happiness to you and how you can do it. Because the good thing is, it's in your hands. You're in control of the level of happiness that you're going to experience in your life. You're in control, whether you realize it or not, of what your past has been like, what your present currently is like, and what your future is going to be like. And this is the exciting thing about being a human, that you have control over that. Now, a lot of people don't want to face up to that. A lot of people don't realize that. But the reality is you have control over where your life is going to, where your life is right now, where your life has been before. And that includes things like, bad experiences as well as good experiences. You might be thinking, how the hell can I be in control of bad experiences that happen to me? Like, this person did that and this happened in the world and so on. Well, the thing is, you're still in control, because even there's things that you can't control, you're still in control of your reaction. Now, that's the most important thing to realize. You're always in control of your reaction. So whether it's a reaction to something you control, or whether it's something that's a reaction to something you can't control. So throughout your life, every single day, every minute, every second, basically, you're doing something that's creating your reality. Okay, whether it be, again, how you're behaving, reacting, and acting around stuff you control, just as much as stuff that's out of your control, and how again you're reacting to that. Does that make sense? Something's really important, because people give away the ownership of their life to other people, to other powers, to the government, and so on. People love playing the blame game. People love making excuses. When the reality again is, we need to all take personal responsibility for all aspects of our life. All aspects of our life. It's like even the extremest of conditions. Viktor Frankl is somebody you should definitely check out. He's a Holocaust survivor, and he's the author of Man's Search for Meaning. And he was in, I don't know, it was Auschwitz or which one, but one of the concentration camps. And he still managed to maintain hope that he was going to have a good life, a normal life, lead a normal life. That's what was important for his mind, to survive, basically. So he was in control of his reality. He wasn't living in a reality that was consumed by intense fear, like 99% or more of the other people who are in the concentration camps. Justifiably so, in terms of they're looking at their actual reality, where they were, what they were in the midst of, what was imminent for them in terms of death and so on. So when they focus on that as their reality, it became the reality, let's say. For himself, he changed his outlook, and he changed on what he was there for, why he was there, what was going to happen. So his own reality was that little bit different. So, we have the power to create a reality. Now, he survived doesn't mean that that's guaranteed to survive, but it made it a lot easier for him to survive. And you get off to getting the right energy and stuff like that. That makes sense to you. So, in the midst of the worst situations, we are still in control of how we react, and how we react and will have a huge impact on what our reality will be. Is that making sense to you? I hope it does, because it's an important point for you to grasp, because too often people just latch to excuses, latch to blame, latch to someone else's responsibility, when it's all your responsibility. Everything is your responsibility. And the sooner you embrace that and really run with that, the quicker your life will change. And that applies to every single aspect of your life. So, Bringing Back to Smile is all about, bringing back the smile to you, making you feel a bit better. How do we feel better? Well, being happy within ourselves, having self-love is such a huge part of that. Also having a life experience that we desire to have and living through that. And, the reality is things don't just come easy. You're not going to just have the life you want, experience everything you want, be who you want, just like that, just because you want it, and just because you put it out there. You do have to put the work in. So it's important for you to realize that, again, take responsibility and go out there and put the work in. Because far too many people just kind of sit there and just wait for things to happen, and expect things to change. Happiness is there for you. But this is the great thing about it. Happiness is there for you. It just depends on what you do to get it. It just depends if you do enough to get it and how much you want it. Like, everyone wants to feel better, look better, have more, experience certain things, visit certain places, all that kind of stuff. So many people want to do that, but do they want enough? And it's the question I have for you. Do you want enough? Do you want to be your best enough? Do you want to look your best enough? Do you want to experience life fully enough? Do you want to turn your dreams into reality enough? That's the important word there. Because again, it's all there for you. It just depends if you want it enough and if you're going to take the action towards it. So there's so many different aspects of this. And, we speak so much on Bringing Back to Smile of different things like, your mindset, motivation, your psychology, which is so important, your whole thought process, We speak at different times, even things like exercise, nutrition, sleep, which have such a key role to play in your general happiness. And we're going to be focused on nutrition today. We're going to be clearing up a lot of myths and, explain to you what are the right things to do, what you could be able to change in your lifestyle that will have a positive impact. Also, we're speaking, bring back to smile a lot about, management of your life. So lifestyle management, self-management, time management, and goal setting, and, creating the life of your dreams, because you can have it. This is the great thing about life. I have the potential to live the life I want. You have the potential to live the life you want. But again, it will only have any chance of happening if we take personal ownership, take personal responsibility for the life that we're living. We take ownership for every aspect of it, whether it be good or bad, and look at our role in it. Again, in the worst of situations, you will have played a role in getting to that point, and this is something you have to get good at recognizing. And knowing your role, learn from your role, learn from the situation, move on even stronger into the future to deal with for future challenges even better. Does that make sense? But I'm going to say it again. Focus on making sure that you take personal responsibility for all good and bad, because again, it's your reaction to either that will determine what your reality is that you live through. Okay? Because life can be tough. Sure as hell can be tough. It can be really, really tough. But your reaction is what's in your hands. Okay? So react positively always, or as often as possible at least, because you are human. You're going to have times that will get you. That's natural. But more often than not, make sure you react in a very positive way. So like I said, on this particular episode of Bringing Back the Smile, I'm going to focus on nutrition. Why would I do that? Well, nutrition is an area that is so important. And in terms of bringing back the smile, what's smiling and feeling good? What is it a lot to do with? What impacts it? Of course, again, your life and what you're doing, success is a big impact. But what on a chemical basis impacts the way your brain works and how your body feels? What impacts in that way? Well, it's your food, and I include liquid in that too. So, what you consume, what you put into your mouth has a huge impact on how your body works. Let's throw medication into too. So we'll speak a bit about medication and food and liquids. So whatever you consume, whatever you put into your mouth will have an impact on the way your brain works. Your brain and how it works determines your mood, your energy, your thought process, how you deal with negative thoughts just as much as how you deal with positive thoughts. So, all these things are so important. That's why you have to be so mindful of what you consume, what you put into your mouth, because it's not just about feeding your body as a necessity. It's feeding your brain, and it's giving the energy to your brain. And what you consume has a big impact on how your brain works, and also has an enormous impact on your mood. So there's a lot of people who are not in good mood, feel very down, feel very low, don't have energy, just not in a good place in terms of their mood and energy and stuff like that. You change the food and the liquid consumption, things change dramatically more often than not. Again, it all depends on why is it like that. Like if there's no deep-rooted trauma, something that's really, tough that they're going through at the time, and it's just feeling a bit down and low and stuff, a lot of time, again, just make some adjustments in your food. No different in conditions like ADHD and all these kind of things, hyperactive disorders and so on. And anything that's kind of connected to the brain and how the body works and so on. Often, if you look at the situation, especially with kids and look what they're consuming, it's terrible stuff. Sugary cereals, Coke, loads of sweets, loads of jellies. Food that has no substance, but food that's like a drug to the body and makes it just go crazy. Make it crave more, make it just go hyper, and then get downers and hyper and downers and so on. And when you're in that vicious circle, you can't function correctly. You can't. Your brain can't work right, your body won't work right. You won't be stable. And this is why I put so much importance to people on their food. Like food is such an impact on absolutely everything. We only see it as something to feed ourselves, or maybe a bit of importance if people are into training or are athletes of some kind. It's not just that, just your general day-to-day, your food has a huge impact on, as I said, how your brain works, your energy, your concentration, your focus, and also your mood. Very important, your mood. So when you change the food, then your mood will change. Will that solve the issues? Potentially not. It depends, as I said, if there's big issues there. But the first point to call, even if people are in a very, very bad way, and even down to very depressed and so on, do what you can control. You can control the food. Make positive changes in the food, and it's a good chance you'll at least feel a little bit better, and might give you that little bit of spark that helps you then to deal with the issues or traumas that are putting you in that dark place. But it may or may not, as I said, it's a tough area to get out of when you get into dark place. And I know myself because I've been there. So it's a tough area to get out of, but you have to always focus on what you can control. Focus on the things that you can control and make steps in the right direction. So let's go through various things to do with nutrition. Let's start with the liquid, okay? People are always amazed when I talk about nutrition, I speak about liquid first, always. Well, I speak about it first because it's the most important. Because you realize your body's 75% water. 75%. Your brain is actually 83% water. And to add to it, your brain can't retain water. So if you're not adequately hydrated, your brain cannot function correctly. And that's only one factor, not to mind all the other factors, like 20% of calories you consume go to your brain, and various other factors affect how your brain works. So if you go back to just the water, 83%. Now, the vast majority of the world are chronically dehydrated. So the brain's not working the way it should be. So that's just in general function, memory, concentration, focus, all that kind of stuff. But the mood is hugely affected because when your brain is dehydrated, it can't function correctly. Mood is hugely connected to the way your brain is. A lot of bad moods, a lot of poor moods, low moods, all these kind of things is down to being dehydrated. Something as simple as that. Now, you might think that's crazy. What? Drinking more water is going to make me feel better? Are you real? Are you for real? Yes, I am for real. And I can guarantee you it will make you feel better. I can guarantee you it will make your brain feel like it's working better. Your focus, memory, concentration will all improve. Your energy will improve. Water has energy. Water has energy. You will get more energy from water, okay? And before we go into the ins and outs of water, what you should do and so on, quantity and all that, remember there's lots of other liquids we consume too. Coffees, teas, alcohol, energy drinks, soft drinks, poisons to the body. Now, I never tell people to never have something. You make your own decision on how far you're going to go, how strict you're going to go. But what I say is, like, if you're here and this is nothing, having none of those things, keep moving this direction, move towards it. If you never have, coffee or cokes or energy drinks or any of these kind of things again, fantastic. If you have a certain quantity now, and in a month or two you have less, fantastic. That's what we're aiming for. Aim to get better. I'm very big on taking positive steps in the right direction. I don't believe in just, overnight cold turkey changing things. Because from what I've seen in the last 7 years now, it doesn't work. Not for 99.9% of people. Things need to be gradual. This is why diets don't work. This is why when people go on extreme things, extreme plans, they don't work. There's always a minority that'll work for you, but for the vast majority, it doesn't work. Okay? So I want you to be mindful of what you need to do. I want you to be focused and committed to taking positive steps in what you should do, but I'm not asking you to completely cut out things that right now you love, but in time I want you to dislike a bit more, if not totally. So, does that make sense? So, Coke is just full of sugar, 12 spoons sugar in a normal kind of Coke. Coffee is just full of stuff that will wreck up your adrenal glands. Basically, you get a big high and then you get a bit low again. It's like with Coke and sugar. Energy drinks is like Coke on speed. It's going to drive your adrenal glands crazy with all the extra chemicals are in it, with all the sugar and all. And you're going to get an insane low. And then when you get the insane low, the body's going to want more of it, or more something that's going to bring it back up again. So then you crave more of it. You put more in, back up again. And you're taking in so much sugar and also so many toxic chemicals into your body in these energy drinks. It's doing you a lot of harm. And it doesn't mean you drink an energy drink, you're going to drop dead that day, but again, it's chipping away. And the more you do bad habits, the more it will get you. See, this is the problem for people. They spend so much time kind of debating with themselves and others and justifying that, look, it's only a can of Coke, it's only a can of Red Bull or Monster or whatever it might be. Oh, it's only a cookie, or it's only whatever. If you're doing it on a consistent basis, it adds up to a lot of damage. If you're doing it occasionally, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having it in moderation. Everything in moderation, basically. Everything in moderation, because that's important too. I don't want you aim to live perfection, because perfection really doesn't work. It doesn't work for people. We all need a bit of release, whatever that may be. So I want you to be mindful of how poisonous these things are. Energy drinks, incredibly poisonous. Coke, soft drinks in general, poisonous. Coffee is just not good for your body. Okay, it wrecks up your adrenal gland and you get so dependent. This is why people might go from, I'll just have a coffee in the morning to wake me up, then suddenly you're having 2, 3, 5 shots a day, then you get 10, and then sometimes people are out of control, they have them constantly. And they sacrifice the food so much and have a coffee instead because they're getting the boost from the coffee and they're too busy to go grab food or make food. So it's a dangerous trap to get into that so many people have, especially as life has got busier and busier in the last couple of decades, especially. I'm not telling you to give up coffee. I'm telling you to be conscious that it's not really doing you any good and to be conscious of decreasing it. Okay. Tea is a much lesser degree. It doesn't do a huge amount of negatives to your body. The negative would be it dehydrates you. Like all these things dehydrate you. That's why I've tied it in with water. So remember I said if you're not having enough water into your body and your brain, then you're going to be chronically dehydrated. Well, these things all dehydrate you further. So even if you drink a good bit of water, but you also drink a lot of these things, you may be negatively hydrated despite drinking water. Does that make sense? So to be very mindful of eliminate or cut down at least things that are taking water and add in water. Okay? So this is very important, guys. I'm telling you, just this alone will have a huge impact on how you feel, your mood and your energy. When you impact all them positively, you feel happier within yourself. This is why it's so important. You might think this is crazy. Like, why we talk about food and then you're on about happiness? Why am I talking about water and coffee? And this show is meant to be about happiness and bring back the smile because it's so important, because it will have an impact. I can guarantee it to you. You just have to do these things and keep moving in the right direction and you will feel better because there's nothing feels better than feeling good. And when you consume these kind of things too much or you consume too little water, you really can't feel good. Not to the level you potentially can. And I want you to live at your full potential. You should want to live at your full potential. You should always be looking at how can I improve and become a better version of me? How can I keep evolving into a better version of me? How can I feel better all the time? How can I live longer? How can I live longer with independence, most importantly? How can I have a vibrant life? These are things that we want. Surviving isn't what life's about. It's thriving. Okay, I want you to thrive. Okay. Now let's go on to the water. So how much water should you drink? Well, the ideal is actually 6 liters. You might think, whoa, 6 liters? Are you kidding me? I barely get a glass in a day. I'm just saying the reality. Okay, that's the ideal, 6 liters. What I always get people to aim for is 4. So I want you to aim towards 4. Now, it could take you 4 years to get to 4 liters. It could take you 4 weeks. All that matters is that you start moving that direction. So will you right now have a cup of water a day or 0 water, a cup of water or 2 liters of water? I want you to be mindful if you need to start working towards 4 liters a day consistently. And it's important you create these kind of habits because when you create these positive habits, it's a positive impact on your life basically and in every sense. But what I always advise people to do with water is whatever your current consumption is, add a half a liter to it and then consume that for 7 to 14 days. And in that time, it will become a habit. It will become normal. Your body will become accustomed to it. Because initially, you'll be alien to it. You'll be going to toilet constantly because your body don't know what the hell is going on. It's not used to having to deal with it. Then your body will eventually, have become accustomed to it and it'll become normal and actually crave it. What you find is if you don't have, let's say, even if it's a liter, you don't have a liter of water, you're going to feel dehydrated. So I want you for a week to 14 days to just up whatever your current level, current average daily water intake is by half a liter, and then do that for the 2 weeks and see how you go. When you've done that and it feels normal, then add another half a liter and keep doing that process until you get to 4 liters daily. Okay, rarely if ever skipping a day. And I can guarantee you, just with doing that, if you do nothing else, I can guarantee you will feel better within yourself within a few days, even a few days. Better within yourself. You'll feel happier, you'll feel more alive, you'll feel more energized, your brain will work better, you won't have as much brain fog, your focus, memory, and concentration will be much better, and I can guarantee you too, your mood will be much better. And that's even if you're in a pretty dark place, because again, like I said, we have to focus on what are the things that we can improve on. If you're in a very dark place because of stuff going on in your life, and you're also drinking like no water and tons of coffee or alcohol or energy drinks, that's only compounding the problem. So do what you can to improve it. Decrease those things, increase the water. You have to feel better. It's an inevitability. Okay. So that's that side, so that's water. And I can't stress enough to you how important that is and how important liquids in general are. And like the same with liquids, I remember I didn't say a lot about alcohol. Alcohol like is not good for us. It is a poison, and that's just the reality. Again, am I saying cut it out? No, I'm not. You do you, but work on cutting it down, work on bringing it down, because that's what we need to focus on. Okay. And the problem with it is it dehydrates you at a huge rate, like an awful rate. And just think about when you are drinking, and think about that first time you go to the toilet during the drinking session. What happens after? Don't you have to go very regularly after it, like really regular? That's because the body's going, what the hell is this stuff? Get it out. So it's pushing it out of your body because it's toxic to your body. Your body is an amazing machine. Like it will always try to fight the bad things you may do to it, but sometimes as well, it will just go, okay, this is how it is, and it just become okay with it, and it feel like it's normal, but it's causing you ongoing damage. Okay, so it's very dangerous. Even like just take something like alcohol. Someone says, no, I never feel drunk anymore. I could have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 drinks. I don't really feel drunk. That's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. The body's getting accustomed to it. Just like you drink no water, you go, I never feel like I need to drink water. I'm never thirsty. Bad sign. You'd be better off your body was begging you for water if you felt desperately thirsty, if your mouth felt like sandpaper. So, the body will adjust. It'll initially try to change what you're doing and try to get you to do the right things. But if you go on too long doing the wrong things, your body will just adjust to it and it'll become normal, which, as I said, is not good for it. Okay. Now, if we go on to food, 20% of calories you consume go to your brain. 20%. Now, think what that's doing to your brain in terms of how it's impacting on your mood and your energy and everything. So, 20% is a fair chunk. So think of 20% of eating McDonald's and fried foods and processed foods and chocolate and all that stuff a day versus 20% of having smoothies and salads and stir fries and loads of veg. And think of the difference in how you're feeding your brain in those two scenarios. So is it no wonder that so many people are going around, not again feeling good, not feeling energized, in pain, overweight, various diseases, loads of medication, so on and so on. Because look what you're feeding your body. If you feed your body poison, your body gets poisons. It's as simple as that. Like, it's just common sense. But people don't like to face up to reality. They don't like to face up to the fact that their behaviors and their actions are actually disimproving their life. It's easier to blame someone else that they're doing to, they're ruining your life. No, you're ruining your life because you're the person who controls and determines everything. This is what you have to start realizing. This way you have to face up to, this way you have to own. And once you start doing that, so when you take a good, hard, long look at what you're eating, on a daily basis and generally, in terms of the week and months and so on as well, because anyone can have a good day, but one good day ain't going to do much for you. It's better than having no good days, of course, but it's not going to transform the body or your health or your well-being. So look at what you're consuming. So remember that 20% of your calories you consume go to your brain. Okay. So if you're feeding your brain McDonald's calories, it ain't going to work very well, is it? That's not really good nutrition for your brain. When you feed it the right kind of foods, the brain's working the way it should. Simple things like memory. A lot of people just accept that their memory is decreasing, it's getting bad. And I've noticed more and more in the last few years that younger people are saying their memory is bad. Many people young enough age will tell me, I just have a bad memory. Bullshit. It's not even a bad memory. It's that you don't, one, activate it by trying to remember, and two, you're most likely not feeding your brain what it needs to actually function. Same as your body. You can't be a professional athlete and live again in McDonald's or takeaways or loads of junk food and chocolate and sweets and donuts and alcohol. Like, you can't be a professional athlete. You can't be at the best level. You can't be at your best level. Because there are some people who have great talent and they live terrible lives abusing their bodies and they achieve a certain level of success, as it's seen, but that's not success for them. That wasn't even close. Their potential wasn't even slightly realized. So this is the reality. So, I want you to really start taking ownership of it and look at what you're eating, because it's determining everything. As I said, your mood, your energy, your focus, your concentration, the whole lot. And it's important, I want to say, to include in your week some food that wouldn't be on the good list, let's say, but I want you to include it as like your reward. Reward day. Maybe we can get people to have a reward day or two of them in a week, because it's important to factor that in, because we all get cravings, we all have triggers, we all have associations, we all need comfort sometimes, and food is the go-to for most people. So I think it's important to have a day or two where it's like, there's no rules, you're allowed to do what you want. Now, the only thing is, it shouldn't be a day that you pig out like crazy. It should be a day that, you eat the kind of foods you like to eat that you wouldn't normally eat. And you know what? They're actually far more enjoyable then, because you're not having them all the time. So when you do have them, it's a real treat and you really enjoy them. So I really encourage you to incorporate that. I would never tell you, or don't tell anybody, to just cut stuff out completely, even if it's really, really bad. No, I would tell you to never eat McDonald's again, or drink Coke, or have Pringles. There's three big things I'm passionate about, trying to get people to never ever touch, because there's loads of other similar things that are not as bad. These are poison, literally poison. Okay, I would not recommend for anyone to do any of those three. It's like McDonald's. Go to any other fast food, it'll be something better for you. McDonald's is the worst of the worst. Incredible business model. It's not surprising it's growth, but what it's doing to people, terrible. All the others are doing terrible things too, but that would be what I'd pick out as being the worst. Okay. So you need to start consuming the right kind of food to feed your body. What does your body need? Your body needs antioxidants. All we ever hear about is protein, especially. We also hear so much about carbs, and we hear to a lesser degree now, but for decades it was a big thing, fat. And it was a case of, you need to cut out all fat. Then when it moved to, you need to cut out all sugar. On and off, then it jumps to, you need so much protein. And also, carbs are good, carbs are bad, carbs are the enemy. Low carb, high carb, no carb. What's the truth? The truth is that you need carbs for energy. Your body needs carbs. It's like petrol or diesel for a car. So you need carbs. The problem is the type of carbs. Protein. You need protein, yeah? But you don't need even close to the level of protein that you're told you need. Because let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of anyone protein deficient? Have you ever come across it? Have you ever experienced it yourself? It doesn't happen. The only way it happens is someone's on a starvation diet, and what happens then is they're deficient in everything, not just protein, everything, because they're eating nothing. There's protein in every kind of food. So you don't need to worry about protein at all. The whole push on protein is especially for the whole supplement industry, which, protein supplements are like the foundation that supplement industry was built on. And now it's a gazillion, whatever the number is, industry. It's unbelievable the amount of money that's made, the amount of companies. And unfortunately, a lot of it is absolute garbage. There's very few companies that actually provide quality products. Most of it is all focused on profit. So the cheapest possible product for the most amount of money, it's the most profit, versus, having proper ingredients, more expensive ingredients, quality stuff, and charge whatever you're charging, and then that's the level of profit. But you're doing it providing a good product. There's very few products that are like that in the world. Most companies is all focused on how to make more profit. Like the way all industries work in general, and all businesses work in general. That's why I don't want you to be trusting in the food industry as much as you typically have, or especially the pharmaceutical industry, is people trust it so much yet. It just wants to make money out of you. Same as the food industry, same as the health and wellness industry. Healthy, fit, pain-free people, happy people. So healthy, fit, happy, pain-free people make no money for anybody. You need to be in pain. You need to be unhappy. You need to be unhealthy. That's how the world makes money. You need to wake up to this reality. This is reality. This is why you have to start questioning things about the food industry, questioning things about advertising that you see, questioning the products that you see, any product you see, any new products, how to make that, what's in it. Questioning when you look at the ingredients list, there's 20 ingredients and you can't even pronounce 80 of them. That's the reality. That's the food industry. That's the world we live in. And it's important that you start to realize this. And this is where, again, you have to take personal responsibility. Instead of turning a blind eye and going, I know, I'm sure they take care of us. They want our health to be good. Look at it. Look at the reality. Look at the information that's on packets and go, oh my God, this is poison. This is literally poison. And move more and more towards more whole food, eating better food, because your body needs it. So, as I said, the protein thing, you don't need as much protein. I would never tell you even focus on protein. I don't focus on protein, and I compete as an athlete. I don't focus on it. If I want to build muscle, if I want to improve performance, if I want to get faster, whichever it might be, protein is not an issue to me. I know I get more than enough. So just eat a wide variety of foods and you'll be fine with protein. You don't have to focus on getting a certain amount of protein into your body. Carbohydrates, you need a good lot of carbohydrates for fuel. It fuels your body. It's what gives you fuel. It's your energy. It's what we need for energy. If you eat too much carbohydrates, yes, it will convert to fat eventually if you don't burn it off. It'll store in your liver first for a few days if it's overconsumption in a particular day. And then if you don't burn it off or need it as like a backup, then it's going to just convert to fat. True. But again, a lot of people, or it's not necessarily that they're consuming too much good carbs, it's that they're consuming too much bad carbs. So that's having a huge effect on your system, and also having an effect on your sugar levels and your insulin levels. So it's not carbs that are bad, it's the type of carbs you're consuming that's bad. So you need to look at it totally differently. Stop listening to where they're telling you carbs are bad. It's like fat are bad. Fats are not bad, but if it's bad fats, it is bad. Just like if it's bad carbs, it's bad. But good fats are good for you. Eat away, like avocados. Avocados get hammered in all these diet things out there because they say, oh, it's so fat, it's just too fatty and not good for you. Rubbish. It's good fat. It has such a huge positive impact on your body and how it works. Consuming good fat actually helps you burn more fat. That's the irony of when these systems out there are telling people not to eat any fat containing foods. Also, good fats from things like avocados, nuts, seeds, what things are healthy oils, things like that, nut butters. They're good for your skin, good for your hair, good for everything in your body, good for your cells. So it's actually good for you to consume good fats. Same as good carbs. It gives you good energy, long-lasting energy. It's like having porridge versus Special K or Cocoa Pops. There's no comparison. Special K and Cocoa Pops have zero nutrition in them, just garbage and just sugar. So your sugar levels go through the roof. There's nothing to slow it down because there's not really any fiber. This white fruit, in terms of sugar, when you hear sugar being bad and people are being careful with fruit, fruit has a natural ingredient or substance in it that slows the release of sugar. It's called fiber. Fruit is the perfect food because it's got the nutrients in terms of the antioxidants, vitamins and minerals. It's got water in it, so we need to keep hydrated, and it's got fiber in it to slow the release of those sugars that are in it into the body, because if it goes in too fast, it's like a heroin shot, and it's going to get you a massive high, a massive low. You're going to need more than sugar into your body to make it come back to level, and it just becomes like an addiction. That's why bad sugar is bad for you. Refined sugar is bad for you. That's why processed convenient food is bad for you, because of that reason. It alters the way your body works. It alters the way your sugar levels work, your insulin levels. So stop listening to this crap that's out there that all sugar is bad. All sugar is not bad. There's good sugar and bad sugar. All carbs are bad. Rubbish. There's good carbs and bad carbs. All fats are bad. Rubbish. There's good fats and bad fats. Consume the good stuff, decrease or eliminate the bad stuff. It's quite simple, really. This thing about nutrition, we need to really simplify things down, because for too many people, they're so confused. Also, they're not being told not to eat a lot of shite stuff. So it's not their responsibility. They don't know. Of course, you bloody know something's good or bad for you for the most part, because it's quite obvious if something's good or bad for you for the most part. So when they can pass the buck and blame someone else, most people will just pick the wrong option. This can't be you. Stop letting it be you, because for too many people, they let it be them. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay. So I want you to, change your attitude around protein in terms of don't feel you have to worry about protein. Like literally just eat your food, eat a wide variety of foods, have some protein, what's seen as protein source if you wish, but don't worry about it. If you don't have a protein defined source, no big deal. You protein the rest of your food too. Have plenty of carbs. Have good carbs. Your grains, like proper, good, healthy grains, your fruits, legumes, these kind of foods. Have your good fats. Have lots of antioxidants, vitamins and minerals. That's in your fruits and vegetables. This is actually what the foundation of nutrition needs to be. Go back to your brain and everything. Like, you need to be consuming a lot of fruits and vegetables, because that's what contains antioxidants, vitamins and minerals. That's where your immune system is built on. That's what energy is built on. The green veg especially gives you a lot of chlorophyll. That's what actually helps your muscles to build and repair and grow, and all your cells. Contrary to what you hear about protein all the time, it's green stuff is far more important. I concentrate a lot more on my intake of greens, make sure I take lots of greens in, as opposed to how much protein I get. Greens are far more important because of chlorophyll. Okay? And all these fruits and vegetables, again, remember, to get the energy from the sun. How much more powerful can you be if you consume lots of fruits and vegetables? Fruits and vegetables are what you need. That's what most of your nutrition plan and nutrition lifestyle needs to be. Not worrying about protein, carbs, and fats. Get them in, yeah, but worry more about your fruits and vegetable intake, your antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. That's what matters most. That's what will feed your brain to an unbelievable level. That's what will make you feel healthy. That's what will make you feel energetic. That's what will put you in better mood. Fruits and vegetables. I can't stress enough to you. Eat more of them. Again, how much did you eat? You might ask. 20, 30, 40, 50 portions a day? You might think, oh, Christ. I have a piece of fruit a day and I have 1 or 2 veg in my dinner. That's standard. So most people do. Some people don't even have that. If that's your case, have a bit more fruit, have a bit more veg. Move in the right direction. Remember what I said. If you're here and you need to be here, then move this direction, step by step, every day. Just keep moving that direction, because that's what matters. Not that tomorrow you go from eating no fruit and veg to you eat nothing but fruit and veg tomorrow, because it won't last. If you make any changes, I want them to be lifelong. I don't want you to be making changes that are not lifelong. Okay, so it's really important you take steps in the right direction, you move in the right directions. Whatever you consume right now, like I said earlier with the water, whatever amount of veg you consume right now, add even one more portion of veg a day. Whatever level of fruit you consume each day, one more piece of fruit a day. And do that for a week or two. When you've that done, add another, then add another, and keep building up, like I'm saying, add up the water. Also highly recommend smoothies. It's a great way to eat foods you won't eat. You know, stuff that's got high nutrition in it. You know, any of the fruits and veggies that you just don't want to eat, you don't like them, you genuinely don't like them, put them into a smoothie. As a way of consuming them, because they have, you know, they have benefits to you. It's like celery. I'm not a big fan of celery itself, but I put into all my smoothies a couple of sticks of it. So I'm eating celery every single day. Celery is really, really good for you on so many levels. I'm getting down to my system every single day. What is that going to do to me? Turmeric. Can't stand the taste of turmeric. Maca. Well, maca's not too bad. With spirulina, absolutely disgusting. I get in my system every day. What's that going to do to my body? It can only do me good, right? So consume the things that make your body better, because again, that's where we need to be. That's what we need to work on. That's what we need to focus on. Okay, so consume more antioxidants, vitamin, mineral containing foods, which is fruits and veg, basically. More and more of that. Focus on eating good carbs, good fats. Protein, don't worry about it. Get in if you want to get it in. Focus on increasing your water. Indirectly, you'll actually start decreasing your consumption of other bad liquids, because the more water you drink, and you're kind of filling up your liquid for the day. Typically, you want to increase your overall liquid in the day. You know, typically you might be having loads of tea or coffees or soft drinks or energy drinks, things like that. If you drink more water, typically they'll decrease. So, from a mindset point of view, you're better off to always focus on adding as opposed to eliminating. So focus on adding, to add the good habits, and then the bad ones typically will start to subside just naturally, because you won't want them as much anymore. Okay, the main thing I want you to get from this particular episode to bring it back to smile is, you know, be more conscious of your decisions, of what you consume, what you put into your mouth. Be conscious that you are actually in control of your reality. You're in control of your mood. You're in control of your energy. You're in control of your happiness. You truly are. Like every single day, you have a precious, beautiful, wonderful opportunity to create the life you desire. You actually have that opportunity. It's up to you to create it. So make sure you're taking action to move towards that every single day. And your nutrition, like I've said, is a huge part of it. I hope this episode has, you know, shed a lot more light on you about nutrition. I hope it has opened your eyes to the power nutrition actually has over so many aspects of your life, including, like I said, your mood and your happiness, which I'm sure you probably never thought of before, but it has a huge impact. And I hope this episode acts as a spark to you to make positive changes in your life, because that is what I want for you. I want you to improve your life. I want you to improve you. I want you to feel better. I want you to be happy. You know, the happier people are, the more good energy to give off. That energy then is felt by other people. And then those people can feel a bit better and a bit happier, and so on. And we can all, in the way we live our lives, have a positive impact on strangers even that we may never, ever talk to. But the energy we give off has a huge impact, and our happiness determines a lot of that vibration that we give off. So I want you to be happy. I want you to see you smile. I want to bring back the smile to you. I want you to laugh and have fun and enjoy life. You live once, live fully. Okay? So that's it from Bringing Back the Smile here in Lyra Media. Please share this show out there far and wide. Share it anyone you feel it will help. You know, make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to Lyra Media. Share our videos out there. There's so many great shows in this station. So many unbelievable shows, interviews, discussions, panels, music, movies, so much. This is the station, Lyra Media. Make sure you make use of it. Share it out there, tell your friends, put it across social media. We'd really appreciate it. This is Dave Sheahan here, signing off for Bring Back the Smile here in Lyra Media. Have a good one. Keep focused. Keep smiling.